Hey, welcome back to 2DG.
Two.
We've got a beer review.
I'm back again.
Yeah.
Today, a little more popular as far as availability. We did, from New Belgium, the Voodoo Ranger, which here in the last, I'll call it 2 months, at least around here, they've done a huge rebranding of most of their stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was because, obviously it's not because sales are hurting, they're massive, but I don't know if it was to try to keep up with changing palates, tastes, and stuff like that with the new beer.
Yeah, I saw they even released a Goes.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to try that, but I didn't.
That was an interesting story. All right.
Next.
So it says on here real quick that it's a rare blend of choice hops. Creates an explosion of fresh cut pine and citrus flavors. So it sounds like it's just going to be your generic West Coast kind of thing.
Which isn't a bad thing.
I don't like when breweries just put a rare blend of choice hops. Well, just don't say it at all. That's it. So, Wicked Weed, little bottle opener. It's kind of cool.
It is.
And it works. Even better. Right, now it has been a little while, admittedly, since I've had a New Belgium beer. Just to be honest, they're just tasted like everything else, to be completely frank. So when I saw this, I was kind of excited, but also scared.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed.
I'd say that's what I thought with most of the new ones here.
All right, so coming in a nice, a lot of chill days on there. A nice golden straw, clear yellow. It did have about
Clear yellow. It's golden.
We had about a quarter to half finger of head. Dissipated pretty quickly. It is 9%, I believe, so not entirely surprising. Let's.
It's got good stick.
I was gonna say, what's the stiction?
It's good. I mean, really, look at that. I'm impressed.
Well, let's smell it and see.
West Coast style, I would expect it.
Yeah, let's see. Hang on.
It's definitely has some citrus, a bright citrus, but it's
It's generic. So, grapefruit, peel, rind, whatever. I'm not getting that huge punch of pininess at all.
I'm not either.
It's just generic citrus mixed with a little bit of malt sweetness, but it kind of almost smells stale.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. And I didn't want to say it because rotten tomato. It's not there, but it's kind of got that.
It's got a little bit of herby kind of spiciness. Floral, I guess, would be a better one, but yeah, it's just, I've smelled it before. I mean,
It's true.
yeah. All right, let's taste it.
All right.
Surprisingly, the taste is better. Apparently, somebody disagrees. Apologize again for the dead air.
Well,
I thought he was going to talk. Maybe?
There's a funk in there, man. It may be because of the beer I just drank, but
I guess I'll go. So, immediately right up front, bitterness. After that, it's a weird fruit flavor, so I can't necessarily. It's like peach, mildly, albeit, but there's a weird kind of stone fruity flavor in there that's real prevalent. It's real strong. And it lasts about 3/4 of the way, and then the back quarter is just dry, just bone dry. A little bit of residual sweetness, not a lot.
it's pretty sticky though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's that weird fruit flavor. I don't mind it. I think it tastes better than it smelled. I'm actually decently surprised, given and it's just is what it is. Basic West Coast IPA, double IPA, excuse me.
There is a bit of a resiny, like pine resininess to it though. It's got a little bitterness that runs with that.
I've had, and then this is not to just keep harping on it, but I've had a beer with that exact fruit flavor taste, and I just don't know what beer it was.
It's almost, I think there's definitely stone fruit, but it's almost like a slightly tropical hint, but it's not developing into anything.
It's definitely got that tropical note, but it's very one-dimensional as far as it's basically just some sweetness, that fruity flavor mixed with some grapefruit, and I'm not getting the pine resinous thing necessarily. It is super. There's a lot of oil in there, you can tell, but I don't know. I don't feel that it's flavorful in that aspect. But yeah, then just bone dry cut right at the end.
There's almost like a green vegetative
I would
flavor
agree
too.
with that. Almost like a bubblegummy, yeasty type of thing too.
I'm not getting bubblegum. I wish. Well, okay.
Figured it out. This is a much worse version of Julius. Here's what I'm saying. Appearance-wise, no. It's that flavor, that yeasty-ish, bubblegummy-ish, albeit muted, stone fruit. Now, Julius is very well blended and balanced and all the way through. This one just spikes and hits you immediately.
It does. And I was going to...
That's what it was, though.
I was going to comment on the mouthfeel of it. It's a bit creamier with all the extra carbonation and stuff. It's a little creamier feeling, like Julius, but
no, this definitely has some Julius-esque stuff. Now that I've put
you're
it
actually
there,
right.
Exactly. So that's what it was. That's interesting.
That is interesting. That is interesting. You're right. It's in that vein.
It's not a rare blend, considering I'm guessing they use about the same main hop that Treehouse uses, but. Whatever.
Well, but they use a little pine in theirs too, and I don't really notice a lot of pine in East Coast.
We've rambled. Let's get on to the ratings.
That was a good ramble though, because it did make a correlation that you might not have known, and you may have never even tasted Julius. So,
I mean, it ain't close, but it's got some resemblance. So,
no, I mean, yeah, it's miles apart.
Right.
But
so this is in the Imperial IPA category. Overall, they gave it a 57. And then for the style, they gave it a 16. I went a little backwards there, but wow.
It's interesting. It's a 9%, and I actually felt that there was a bit of a heat to it, a little bit of alcohol rawness. I wonder what it'd be like if it was lower, like a Julius. Anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. What did they give it again?
Imperial IPA for the style, they gave it a 16. Overall, they gave it a 59.
They gave it a
57 overall, yeah, style 16.
You're kidding. Excuse me. So for the style and Imperial IPA, well, based on just that core, and I'm just going on ABV and such like that, I don't see how the style's that low. I'm willing to give this an 8 for the style. Yeah.
I'll do 7. It's got some definite drawbacks. It said one-dimensional for the most part. Mouthfeel it's okay, and then it just cuts to dry a little too soon. Aroma, generic. I mean, super generic, especially for like a double IPA, which generally kind of pops out at you a little bit more because of the amount of hops that you have to put in there. But the flavor and the taste for the fruit profile of it wasn't bad at all. Pleasantly surprising. 7. It's above average, but yeah.
Yeah. I would have to agree.
Overall,
I'm going to go 7. It's okay. It's not something. If I'm, always an analogy. If I'm at my local restaurant that barely has decent craft beer and this is my option, I'm going with this. Because it does have a nice hoppiness, so at least, I can get satisfied with that. It's not just some piece of garbage that's masquerading as a craft beer. So.
We'll have to have a talk about that. Yeah, I'll stick it at 7. I said, all the same reasons. It's not bad enough to jump it down in the overall, and like I said, this style pretty much I'll run similarly to each other as far as ratings. Now, as far as I'm giving it a 16 a 16 for the style, how? Like what qualities does it have that render it to be so low.
Yeah, what makes it not hit the style? Not, do you like it?
Right. And then, yeah, overall at 57. Number one, I hate those 40-point swings, but
Yeah.
even like saying that it's just above being crappy, like, I don't agree with that.
Was there any comments that were worth?
Oh, that's actually.
We don't always read the comments to you, but sometimes when you get these kind of swings, it's funny to see why. And oftentimes I'll see swings like that, and the comments are all good, and I don't understand where the poor reviews come from. But hey, I guess we don't have to this time. Nothing.
No, not really.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? But no, I my hat's off to New Belgium for coming out with some, what I would say is different for them stuff lately. I'm happy to see some of that. And like I said, I want to try the goes to see what it's like.
Like I said, they got a whole new lineup, so I mean,
Yeah.
definitely more stuff to try.
I was impressed that Sam Adams started trying to do a few things a little different too, but
Yeah.
if you follow our Instagram, I posted one on there. I think I gave a little synopsis. No, that was on, well, I did that, but also on our Untappd, which is all linked down below.
Go check us out.
Up next!
We've been talking about it for a really long time. I said that it was for a special occasion. I'll give a little insight into that. But yeah, we've been teasing it. We'll leave you with a little teaser here too. I won't tell you what it is. So go back and watch all our stuff. Find out.
Up next. You're not gonna say what it is?
No. It's big.
It's not an angry Handy J.
Nope.
2DG.
Dude.
See ya!